Okay, so job interviews. They can feel a little bit like walking a tightrope sometimes, especially for us women.
Yeah, totally.
But imagine if we could like trade those shaky knees for, just this solid feeling of like, I've got this.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today.
I'm excited.
Me too. So we've got this awesome YouTube video. It's by a career coach named Don Georgievich.
Okay.
And we've also got these 2 articles, and they're both just packed with really practical tips to help, just totally rock your next interview.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is how all 3 of these sources, they emphasize different things about how to prepare for an interview, but they all kind of come back to this like one powerful idea, which is confidence.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like the magic ingredient.
Totally. So
Yeah.
we're going way beyond like surface level advice here.
Deeper.
Deeper, exactly. So think of this as your toolkit for building like unshakable confidence.
I love it.
Yeah. From, those pre-interview jitters all the way to that like final thank you email.
Perfect.
One thing that really stood out to me was George Kamovich's take on visualization.
Okay.
So he doesn't just say like, picture yourself succeeding.
Right.
He actually takes it like a step further.
So what does he say?
He wants you to visualize yourself in the role. Like, what are you actually working on? Who are you collaborating with? How does it feel to be in that role?
Oh, I like that, yeah.
Right. And it's about going way beyond that, like, yay, I got the job
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
And actually, like, inhabiting that future version of yourself.
Just like you're already there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He even recommends doing this while you're walking, which I thought was super interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why does he say that?
So apparently when you walk, it, like, engages different parts of your brain. So it could potentially make that whole visualization process more powerful.
Interesting. Okay.
It's like you're physically stepping into that future success.
I like that. Let's try it.
Okay.
All right.
So think about, a company or a role that you would just absolutely love to have.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now picture yourself there,
Okay.
but not just like on day one.
Okay.
Like picture yourself a few months in.
Right.
What kinds of things are you tackling?
Yeah.
What kind of impact are you making?
Mm-hmm.
And try to feel that sense of accomplishment. You know that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be feeling.
That's a good feeling.
Right. And that's the feeling that you want to hold on to.
Yeah.
Because when you repeatedly visualize yourself in that successful state, your nervous system actually starts to believe it's real.
So you're kind of tricking yourself.
A little bit, yeah.
Like with.
In a good way. In a
Gotcha.
good way. It's like conditioning yourself for confidence.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost like you're giving your brain this little sneak peek of that winning outcome.
Oh.
So then when the actual interview comes around, it's not this like totally unfamiliar landscape.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Right. Let's get like practical for a minute.
All right.
Georgia Polivich also really emphasizes practicing answers to common interview questions,
Sure. Yeah.
but with like a twist.
Oh, a twist. What's the twist?
He says don't memorize them word for word.
Oh, interesting.
He calls that like rote memorization. He says it's like the lowest form of learning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's like trying to give a memorized speech.
Yeah.
If you like miss a line or you get interrupted, it could totally throw you off.
Absolutely.
So instead, he recommends understanding that core message that you want to get across for each question,
Okay.
and then practice like different ways to say it.
So you're not like stuck.
Exactly. It builds flexibility.
Yeah.
And then you can adapt to the flow of the conversation.
That makes a lot of sense.
So for instance, that classic question, tell me about yourself.
Right.
Don't try to come up with the like perfect canned response.
Yeah.
Instead, think about the key highlights that you want to showcase.
Okay.
So things like your relevant skills,
Yeah.
your passion for the field,
Mm-hmm.
a standout accomplishment,
Yeah.
and practice like weaving those in naturally.
So you sound genuine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about showcasing your authentic self
Totally.
while also making sure that you hit those key points that demonstrate why you're the right fit.
Makes sense.
Right. Another brilliant point that Georgievich makes is all about positioning yourself as the solution to the company's needs. So it's all about understanding their challenges and then framing your skills and experience as the answer.
So you're not just a job seeker, you're like a problem solver.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And this is where all that, deep dive company research from those articles comes in.
Okay, yeah.
Like go beyond just like skimming their website.
Yeah.
Really dig into like recent news articles.
Yeah.
Understand their industry landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Even like check out what their competitors are doing.
Okay.
It's like being a detective.
I like that.
Right. Piecing together clues to figure out their pain points.
Okay.
then you can walk into that interview not as just somebody looking for a job, but like as a problem solver who's armed with all of these valuable insights.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? I found this analogy that Jordan Mitch used so fascinating. He says it's like when you have information that can genuinely benefit someone,
Yeah.
you feel excited to share it. You don't feel nervous.
Right. Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Right. So that's the energy shift that we're going for here.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, you're interviewing for a marketing role at a company that's really struggling to connect with like Gen Z.
Okay.
So instead of dreading that interview, think about it as your chance to like present this fresh perspective based on your research and your experience.
Okay.
So you're not just trying to fill a position, you're offering a solution.
I see.
Now, all of this prep work is amazing, but there's another element that can totally make or break an interview.
What's that?
It's how you present yourself physically.
Oh, right. Body language.
Body language, exactly.
Yeah.
Georgievich has this tip, and it's so simple, but it's genius.
What is it?
Smile.
Smile.
He even suggests drawing a little smiley face on your notes as like a reminder.
Really?
It might sound a little silly, but
But there's actually science behind it, right?
there is.
Yeah.
When you smile, it releases tension.
Yeah.
It makes everyone feel more at ease, including yourself.
Right.
It's like instantly boosting your likability factor.
Totally. Yeah.
Right? And then also, don't underestimate the power of like good posture, a firm handshake,
Yep.
maintaining eye contact.
The basics.
The basics, yeah. The articles highlighted all of these as like essential nonverbal cues that just project confidence.
Right. Yeah. It's like you're projecting this aura of like, I'm here, I'm capable, and I'm ready.
Totally.
Yeah.
So before your next interview, just take a moment to practice your power pose.
Oh, I love that.
What makes you feel the most confident and authentic? And then own it.
Yeah. Okay. This is good.
Okay. Now, one thing that really surprised me was Georgevich's emphasis on exercise before an interview.
Oh, interesting.
Like even just a quick walk.
Yeah.
Or a few jumping jacks in the bathroom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he actually explains the science behind it.
What does he say?
When you exercise, it releases spinal fluid,
Okay.
which he calls food for the brain.
Oh, wow.
And it helps with clarity and relaxation.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So it's about getting your whole self ready.
Not just mentally.
Not just mentally, but physically, too.
I see, right? It's like shaking off those nerves and, getting those endorphins pumping.
Exactly. And even 5 minutes can make a difference.
Yeah.
So think about how you can, work some movement into your pre-interview routine.
Okay, love it. Now, speaking of getting yourself ready, both George Ravilovich and those articles, they highlight the importance of recognizing and owning your expertise.
Yeah, this is where we like ditch the imposter syndrome and really step into our power.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally, absolutely. And, Georgievich reminds us that we got called for the interview because the company sees something in us.
Right.
Like they see potential, they see value.
Yeah. It's so easy to get caught up in self-doubt.
It is.
But just remembering that can be such a confidence booster.
Totally. So I have a challenge for you before your next interview.
Okay.
I want you to take a minute and just jot down like your top 3 to 5 skills or accomplishments that are like the most relevant to the role.
Oh, I love that.
It's like creating your own personal hype sheet.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it ties in perfectly with the advice from the articles about tailoring your answers to highlight your most relevant qualification.
Exactly. It's not about bragging. It's about like showcasing the value that you bring
Right.
to the table,
Exactly. Speaking of showcasing value, Georgievich has this really interesting perspective on how we should approach interviews.
Okay.
He encourages us to position ourselves as educators almost.
Educators, huh?
Yeah, helping the company understand how we can be a solution to their needs.
Interesting.
It's a subtle but powerful shift,
Yeah.
Instead of seeing it as an interrogation, you're reframing it as this collaborative conversation. It's almost like you're a consultant, right?
Yeah, consultant.
Assessing the situation, offering insights, presenting yourself as the best person to like implement the solutions.
I like that analogy.
Right. And part of being like an effective consultant is asking insightful questions.
Of course, yeah.
It not only shows that you're engaged, but it also helps you assess if this company is the right fit for you. Right? So instead of just, passively answering their questions, think about what you want to know.
Yeah.
What are you curious about? What information do you need to determine if this role and this company align with your values and your goals?
Okay. Yeah.
So come prepared with a few thoughtful questions that go beyond the surface level.
So like, for example, instead of asking what's the company culture like,
Right.
you could ask, Can you describe a recent project that like exemplifies the company's values in action?
Oh, that's so much better.
It is, right. It shows that you're thinking critically.
It's about company fit.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked a lot about mindset and preparation, but the articles also had some great tips on just like the practical aspects of the interview.
Okay, yeah.
They both emphasize the importance of like tailoring your responses, not just to highlight your skills, but to directly address the company's needs.
Oh, okay, so it's about connecting the dots for them.
Exactly, showing them how your unique skill set can help them overcome their specific challenges.
Got it.
Like, for example, let's say the job description mentions that they need somebody who can improve their social media engagement.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, I have experience with social media,
Yeah?
you could say something like, in my previous role, I implemented a new social media strategy that increased engagement by 20% within 3 months.
Oh, wow, that's much stronger.
Right. It's specific, it's quantifiable, and it directly addresses their need.
I see, yeah.
So take some time to analyze that job description and pinpoint those key challenges that they're facing.
And then craft your answers to illustrate how your experience and skills can directly contribute to their success.
So you're presenting yourself as like the missing piece of the puzzle.
Exactly.
I love it. The articles also went into this area that people often overlook, which is nonverbal communication.
Oh, right.
They emphasize things like, maintaining steady eye contact,
Yeah.
projecting a confident tone of voice, being mindful of your posture and gestures.
It's amazing how much we communicate without even saying a word.
It is, right.
Wow.
And a firm handshake, a warm smile, those can go a long way in like establishing rapport with your interviewers.
Yeah.
And you want to try to avoid things like, crossing your arms or fidgeting,
Right.
because those can signal defensiveness or discomfort.
It's all about finding that balance between being professional, but also letting your personality shine through.
Exactly. And now let's talk about asking insightful questions.
Yes. This is your chance to not only gather information,
Yeah.
but also to demonstrate your initiative and your curiosity.
Totally. It's your opportunity to show them that you're not just looking for a job. You're looking for the right job.
Right. One where you can thrive and contribute.
Exactly. One of the articles suggested asking questions that kind of reveal your understanding of the company's goals and challenges.
Okay.
So, for instance, you could ask something like, what are some of the biggest opportunities that you see for this role in the next year?
Okay.
Or what are the company's top priorities right now, and how does this role contribute to achieving them?
Those are great examples, and it shows that you've done your homework and you're thinking strategically.
Exactly. Another article emphasized the importance of asking questions that help you assess company fit.
Okay.
So, for example, you could ask, can you describe the team dynamic? Or what's the company's approach to professional development?
Oh, those are really important questions to ask.
They are. It's about making sure that your values and your career goals align with the company's culture and opportunities.
Right. And then let's not forget about the post-interview follow-up.
Oh, yes.
This is your chance to leave a lasting impression and reinforce your interest.
Yeah, you want to reiterate your enthusiasm highlight, maybe a key point from the conversation, and express your eagerness to hear back.
Exactly. Make sure to thank them for their time and maybe mention something specific that resonated with you during the interview.
Oh, I like that.
Could be something you learned about their culture,
Yeah.
a specific challenge that excites you, or a skill that you possess that you're, eager to apply to the role.
Yeah, a well-crafted thank you note can really set you apart.
It shows that you're genuinely interested and you've taken the time to reflect on the conversation.
One of the articles even suggested sending a handwritten thank you card in addition to an email.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right. It's a little more personal
Yeah.
and memorable, and it shows that you're willing to go the extra mile.
I love that. Okay, so in addition to all the, prep work and mindset shifts, the sources also talked about the importance of mental and physical preparation for the big day.
Of course, right? It's not just about knowing your stuff. It's about feeling confident and composed when you walk into that interview room.
Totally. One article suggested creating a pre-interview ritual that helps you feel centered and ready to shine.
Oh, a ritual. I like that.
Yeah, it could be listening to your favorite playlist, meditating for a few minutes, or repeating positive affirmations.
Whatever works for you.
Right. Think about what helps you feel calm, focused, and ready to take on the challenge.
And remember, even small changes can make a big difference.
Yeah, one of the articles suggested incorporating a few power poses into your pre-interview routine.
Oh, yeah, power poses.
It's a simple but effective way to boost your confidence and project an air of authority.
I love it. Don't underestimate the power of your physical presence.
Right.
Stand tall, make eye contact, and take up space.
It's not about being arrogant. It's about owning your worth and showcasing your potential.
Now, let's be realistic for a moment. Even with all the preparation in the world, interviews can still be nerve-wracking.
Of course.
Yeah. It's normal to feel some butterflies. It means you care
Right.
about the opportunity.
It's like that feeling you get before you know a big presentation or a performance.
Exactly. It's a mix of excitement and anticipation.
Yeah.
But the key is to manage that nervous energy and channel it into positive momentum.
Totally. One of the articles suggested practicing some deep breathing exercises to calm your nerves before you go in.
Deep breathing. Yeah.
It's a simple but effective way to slow down your heart rate and shift your focus.
That's a good tip. Another article recommended visualizing yourself successfully navigating the interview.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine yourself walking into the room with confidence, answering questions with ease, engaging in a genuine conversation with the interviewers.
Like a mental rehearsal.
Exactly. It helps you feel more prepared and less anxious when the real thing happens.
And remember, the more you practice these techniques, the more natural they become.
It's about building confidence over time, not expecting to transform into a superhero overnight.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid during interviews. Okay.
One of the articles highlighted the importance of striking a balance between talking too much and talking too little.
Oh, okay.
You want to be concise, but you also want to provide enough detail to showcase your skills and experience.
Yeah, practice answering common interview questions in a way that's clear, concise, and compelling.
Exactly. Avoid rambling or going off on tangents.
Right.
And on the flip side, don't give one-word answers or appear disinterested.
Show them that you're engaged and enthusiastic.
Totally. Another common mistake is being overly negative, especially when discussing previous employers or experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you had a challenging situation, focus on what you learned from it and how it helped you grow.
Right. Frame your responses in a positive light, emphasizing your resilience and your problem-solving abilities.
Exactly. And finally, one of the biggest mistakes that candidates make is not asking any questions.
Oh, that's a good one.
Asking thoughtful questions shows that you're curious, engaged, and genuinely interested in the role in the company. And it's also a chance to gather valuable information that can help you make an informed decision.
Totally. So as you can see, there's a lot more to interview preparation than just reviewing your resume and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
It's about approaching the interview as an opportunity to showcase your best self, connect with potential employers, and create a positive and memorable experience.
And remember, confidence is contagious.
It is.
When you walk into that interview feeling prepared and self-assured, it's going to be reflected in your body language, your tone of voice, your overall presence.
And that can make all the difference.
Absolutely. So we've covered a ton of tips and strategies,
Yeah.
but I think the most important takeaway is to find what works best for you.
Yeah, experiment with different techniques, practice consistently, and don't be afraid to ask for help from friends, mentors, or career coaches.
The more you invest in your interview skills, the more confident and empowered you'll feel.
Totally. And before we wrap up, I want to touch on one final point that Don Georgievich made in his video that really resonated with me. He talked about shifting your mindset from viewing the interview as a test or an interrogation
Right.
to seeing it as a collaborative conversation.
Oh, that's a game changer.
It is, right? It takes the pressure off.
It does.
It's about approaching the interview as an opportunity to connect with the interviewers on a human level. Share your passion for the field and explore how you can contribute to their success.
It's not about trying to prove yourself or impress them. It's about having a genuine conversation and seeing if there's a mutual fit.
Exactly. And that, I think, is the key to interview confidence.
Yeah.
It's about believing in yourself, showcasing your value, and approaching the interview as a collaborative journey rather than a one-sided evaluation.
It's about finding that sweet spot where your skills, your experience, and your personality align with the needs of the company.
And when that happens, the confidence will flow naturally.
Totally. And you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is about finding that, perfect match.
Yeah.
Where your passion and their needs intersect. And, even if a particular interview doesn't lead to a job offer,
Right.
All of that confidence that you've built throughout the process,
Yeah.
that stays with you.
It does.
It's an investment in yourself
Absolutely.
that pays dividends far beyond that, single interview.
Yeah.
Each experience, no matter what the outcome is,
Right.
just adds another layer to your, confidence foundation.
Totally. And as you continue to refine your approach, that confidence is only going to become, more solid.
Yeah.
So, for anyone listening who might be feeling those pre-interview jitters, what's one thing that you can do right now
Hmm.
to start cultivating that, like, unshakable inner confidence?
I think it starts with acknowledging that feeling nervous is totally normal.
Yeah,
It's a natural human response
it is.
to a situation that matters to us.
Absolutely. It's about reframing those nerves as excitement,
Yeah.
as positive energy that can fuel your performance.
So instead of saying, I'm so nervous,
Right.
try shifting that to, I'm excited for this opportunity.
Yeah. It's a subtle but powerful change in perspective.
Totally. And remember, confidence doesn't mean being perfect.
Right.
It means being authentic.
Totally.
It's about embracing your unique strengths and perspectives.
The best interviews are the ones where you feel like you can truly be yourself,
Yeah.
where you can connect with the interviewers on a human level.
It's about finding that spark, that sense of mutual enthusiasm.
Exactly.
And that often comes from, genuine confidence and self-acceptance.
It does.
So as you're getting ready for your next interview, remember to focus not just on those practical tips and strategies,
Right.
but also on cultivating that inner confidence that will really let you shine.
Because when you believe in yourself, other people will believe in you too.
It's a powerful position to be in.
It is.
To wrap things up, let's go back to those key ingredients for interview success.
Okay.
Preparations, self-awareness, and a positive mindset.
So take the time to research the company thoroughly, practice your answers, and visualize yourself succeeding.
Focus on your strengths, highlight your accomplishments, and ask insightful questions that show your engagement and curiosity.
And most importantly, believe in yourself. You've got this.
Now, as a final thought, I want to leave you with this. What if the most valuable thing you bring to an interview isn't your resume or your skills, but your unique perspective
Interesting.
and the confidence to share it authentically?
I like that.
What would that look like for you?
That's something to think about.
It's something to ponder as you prepare for your next interview. And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way.